Welcome into another telecast of LMC Varsity Sports alongside Stephen Astis. I'm Charlie McGraw. We're here at the Palmer Gym for boys basketball senior day and what will be not only senior day but the final home game for the great star Miles Houghton. His final home game at Palmer Gym against a good Scarsdale team, a rival. Should be a good but a sad day for Mamaroneck.
Well, it's been a spectacular career for Miles Houghton and all of the seniors. Emerson Genovese finishing up his basketball career here at Mamaroneck High School. The first matchup between Scarsdale and Mamaroneck ended in a loss for the Tigers, coming off of that fantastic double overtime victory that they had in their own Tiger tournament. So they had a bit of a letdown. It was a bit of a mystery how they lost that game. Miles Houghton wasn't on with his shot. Really no one was shooting very well in that game. So you know that Mamaroneck is going to be motivated to come away with the victory here. And this is the third time that this game has been scheduled, snowed out twice before.
So when we get back, we'll have the senior day ceremonies and then we'll tip it off here on LMC Varsity Sports.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Mamaroneck High School. And tonight, senior night. On behalf of the athletic department, we would like to thank these seniors for the years of hard work and dedication to the program, and wish them well in their future endeavors. Number 34, Peter Matt. Parents, please meet your son at half court. Number 24, Eric Greenberg. Number 11, Julian Houghton. Number 33, Liam Austinfort. Number 32, Julian Puelo. Number 20, Captain Emerson Genovese. And finally, Captain number 3, Miles Houghton. Once again, thank you, seniors. Now starting for the Raiders of Scarsdale High School. At guard, a senior, number 30, Sam Squadron. At guard, a senior, number 5, Matt Berger. At guard, a senior, number 20, Caleb Crone. At guard, a junior, number 11, Max Roscoe. And at guard, a sophomore, number 23, Nash Gold. The Raiders are coached by Billy Murphy. And now, the starting lineup for your own Mamaroneck Tigers. At guard, a senior, number 20.
on LMC Varsity Sports alongside Steve Anastas. I'm Charlie McGraw. Scarsdale and Mamaroneck tipping off. About 2 weeks ago, they played at Scarsdale, and Scarsdale won by 8 points. And Steve, you were at that game. Tell us quickly about it.
Yeah, well, Scarsdale shot the ball rather well.
As the senior Greenberg on senior day gets 2 points, 2-0.
Scarsdale shot the ball pretty well, and Mamaroneck really did not. Miles Houghton wasn't getting his shot off very much. Didn't seem as aggressive as he normally is. And surprisingly, Scarsdale rebounded the ball very well.
And they get the easy layup there. Max Bosco has 2 quick points. Bosco, the lone junior in the Scarsdale lineup, along with sophomore Nash Goldman. And that one's on the floor, and that'll be a jump ball possession out of Mamaroneck to Scarsdale. So Mamaroneck got the tip-off. Matt Berger, the senior guard, Max Bosco, Caleb Crone, Nash Goldman, and Sam Squadron start for head coach Bill Murphy in Scarsdale. Miles Houghton, Will Tuck, Emerson Genovese, Eric Greenberg, and Liam Allisonford for the Tigers here, senior day, final home game, 7-12. Mamaroneck looking to end their regular season 8-12. Scarsdale 11-8. The win will go 12-8. They're the projected 10 seed in AA playoffs. Mamaroneck right now, the projected 17 seed, but if they lose, they could fall to an 18 seed. As that shot will be good from the 3. Max Bosco's got a quick 5 points in the first minute and 15 seconds, and Scarsdale leads 5-2. This one in the corner to Tuck, looking to answer with a 3 of his own, off the mark. Back iron, no good. Rebounded by Caleb Crone, and the senior will bring it up for Scarsdale, and a carry call by the official. Don't see that called often.
No, and Scarsdale looks like they're going to be shooting from the outside here. That seems to be their modus operandi, definitely the way that they like to play the game.
And did they do that a lot in their win against?
It was all outside shooting is what got the game won for Scarsdale and got the job done.
Back to Tuck has it now as Mamaroneck got it following the turnover, and Genovese with the wide open layup misses it, looking for a foul call, does not get it. And that's a 3, top of the key, and it's good! He's on fire! Max Bosco, 8 points! Stir up the chocolate drink with some Bosco there, Steve.
He sure has a beautiful shooting stroke, and here's Will Tuck right back at him.
Who has a beautiful stroke of his own, who we talked about the last night's game, make it 8-5. And that's a foul called by far side official on Eric Greenberg, who finished the game with 4 fouls. He only had 3 points yesterday, already has 2 today. He had most of his fouls were committed in the second half yesterday on their win 69-56. Mamaroneck beat Gordon, the A school, by 13. We're up 20 at one point.
Illegal screen, I think is what it was called.
Yeah.
Yes.
Scarsdale's Matt Berger gets his first, team's first. So Max Bosco, the junior guard, has 8 points already. Miles Houghton getting a touchdown on offense. Foul on interference called on Nash Goldman, sophomore, his first, team second now. And Mamaroneck's Will Tuck has 3, Eric Greenberg has 2. Foul on Greenberg, and a foul on Berger and Goldman. And a foul called against Mamaroneck, so a lot of fouls being called early. That's 4 fouls in the first 2.5 minutes.
We heard in the pregame talk between the teams that the ref was reminding them not to let their emotions get out of control, that a suspension, that an ejection would cause a 1-game suspension and they would miss their first playoff game. So maybe they're trying to keep in check right here.
Because that was a foul on Liam Allisonford, but to that point they were talking, about a technical, there was like a fight or something like that.
Right.
Like a real heavy foul, but not like these fouls they're going to find that, and that's a travel, no good on Scarsdale's Josh Washington, who just came in the game. Scarsdale has 13 players listed on their roster, but only 5 seated. 1 on the bench in Ty, who's injured, and that will be no good. Offensive foul on Eric Greenberg.
No, that was on Liam Allisonford, I believe. couldn't have been a foul on
it was
Greenberg.
No
Okay.
offensive, no basket though. So second foul on Liam Ossenford as he immediately comes out of the game for Coach Carver. Greenberg still with the 1-2 on him now, and coming into the game was Trevor Mooney off the bench for Ossenford, so he doesn't get in more foul trouble. And that one will be passed underneath, and that's a layup made by Caleb Crone. He has 2 points, and Mamaroneck is doubled up right now by Scarsdale, 10-5 with 4:40 remaining in this first quarter. Miles Harden with the ball. He had 20 last night. The step 3, it hit a little glass. I think he did not want to do that.
No, I don't think that was deliberate.
No. So he was going for the lock as Tuck with the block on Caleb Crone. Will Tuck with the first rejection. In the corner, though, definitely looking for a clear shot to not try and hit the backboard. And definitely hindered the shot, although he almost scored it nonetheless. 10-5. Mamaroneck trailing Scarsdale. Rebounded by Miles Harden and a foul on the defense by Caleb Crone. His first, team's third. Mamaroneck has 3 fouls as well.
Take control, Miles. We got a foul. Let's go.
It'll be brought up here by Emerson. Excuse me. That 3 by Mooney is good. Saw him hit a 3 late in the game yesterday. Coach Carver likes that one.
Trying to pick up on what the Scarsdale bench was calling out their zone. Were they calling out the zone? They were on defense, though. A little bizarre. They're definitely talking to their teammates, which is good. Just couldn't understand what they were saying.
And this one will be a corner, top of the key shot. No good. And another foul. This one on Wasserman, his first, team's 4th. He's got 1, Goldman's got 1, Crone has 1, and Berger has 1. 4 fouls already at this pace. Both teams headed for the bonus 4 and 3 fouls each. Official needs a word with the table.
So a tight game so far. Mamaroneck down by 2, but they're playing well. They're moving the ball well. Their shots have to start falling a little bit more, but they're right in it, obviously. It's just a 2-point game.
New player is, actually Nash Goldman returns to the game, excuse me. That 3 in the corner, going for back-to-back threes. Can't hit was Trevor Mooney, rebounded by Scarsdale. They'll bring it up, and this is Caleb Crone. He'll dish, and to the red-hot Bosco has a 3. He's got 11 of Scarsdale's 13. Scarsdale leads 13-8. We'll be right back. Timeout, Coach Carver here on LMC Varsity Sports. Here with Stephen Estes, I'm Charlie McGraw, 13-8. Off of the 11 points, Max Bosco. He had a 2 to first 2 of the game, and then he has 3 threes to lead Scarsdale to this 13-8 lead. As Caleb Crone, Scarsdale's leading scorers, the only other player with 2 points to Mooney. Mooney loses and he's fouled. The late foul call by the official.
Good pass by Greenberg to Mooney, cutting to the basket. Smart play by Mooney to be on the move and not just waiting and sitting back for the 3-point shot. Try and keep Scarsdale off balance a little bit. Almost had the ball taken away. He was lucky to get that foul.
Matt Berger, coach, will go to his bench for the big guy, Dante Holmes, the senior center. He'll replace the much smaller Berger, so we'll see Holmes for the first time with 3:12 to go here, as Isaiah Thomas will also see for the first time as he just checked in the game for Greenberg. And that's a 3 for Miles Harden, his first points of the game, his first shot, a second shot of the game, and it's 13-11 Scarsdale. Third 3 of the game for the Tigers.
Precisely what they were missing in their first matchup of the season.
As Steve mentioned in the opener, that Miles was held to one of his lowest totals of the year against Scarsdale, as they did a good job of holding him to that total, as this one is missed by Goldman, and he takes a shot, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2. Nash Goldman will be shooting 2 for his first points. Foul was against Isaiah Thomas, his first, team's first. Thomas listed at 5'7", 135. Goldman will miss the first in and out, no good. as Sam Squadron came in to talk to the players on the line in there, and then Goldman makes it. So
he misses the first one, makes the second. They are a good free throw shooting team, though, so expect that not to continue.
Hawden can't get that one to go. It hit the front of the iron and kicked around, and no good. Hawden looking for 2 in a row, almost tried to go for the pick there, but held back too far away.
Off that passing lane there, Charlie.
When he realized how far away he was, that wasn't going to happen, Steve. And this one will nearly be a travel by Squadron. He'll pass to Goldman, back to Squadron, back in the corner to Bosco. Bosco misses that, and gets first missed shot by Bosco as he has now 4 and 5 shooting. That one nearly rebounded by Holmes, but he got it to go off of Tuck, and we'll see the freshman phenom for the first time, Tommy Martin, check in for the game. He's at 6 foot, 145 pounds for Will Tuck. He'll replace Tuck, 14-11. 2 minutes exactly remaining here in the first quarter. LMC Varsity Sports, thank you for watching, as it is the final home game of the seniors' career who were honored before the game, as you saw. And it'll be Scarsdale who has it. It's a lead game, as this was rescheduled a couple times. As that 3 is good, and Caleb Chrome has 5, but Steve, it's good it was rescheduled now because you could do your final home game in senior day against your rival, as that one goes off to Scarsdale against your rival, Scarsdale, as where senior day would have been yesterday against Gordon if it wasn't rescheduled because of the late snow in the roads.
A fortunate turn of events, definitely. Caleb Crone has always been their long-distance shooter. Definitely displayed it there on that 3-point shot.
Just 2 scores, 11. Well, actually 3 scores, 1 point for Goldman. That one in the corner is good for 3. The junior Trevor Mooney has 6 points, 3s from both sides of the court, and it's 17-14. Scarsdale.
Beautiful left-handed stroke from Trevor Mooney. He's going to be an asset for this team for the remainder of this year and next.
That one is good as nobody boxed out Caleb Crone. He now has 7. Bosco has 11. 1 for Goldman, and 2 points for Eric Greenberg. 6 for Mooney. For Mamaroneck and Tuck and Hawden both have a 3 each. As it's 19-14.
Yep, there it is.
There we go, 19-14. They just put it up, and that one in and out, no good for Mooney, which would have been a 2. 19-14 lead for Scarsdale. Nearly a backcourt violation there.
That would have been very sloppy.
Goldman got a little too cute with the ball, but coming in for it was Squadron, and they'll have it here. 20 on the game, on the shot, not 21 on the game. That'll tick down now to 14 on the shot, 15 on there.
They're definitely going to let it go down. Yeah, exactly.
Inside, and a forced shot by the big man. Crone with the crazy 2. That hits rim. Genovese has it, has to shoot it at the buzzer! Off the backboard and no good. So, would have counted if it went.
A little bit of excitement at the end there.
19-14, Mamaroneck trail Scarsdale. We'll be right back here on LMC Varsity Sports.
So we're back with second quarter action. Mamaroneck down 19-14 with Charlie McGraw. This is Steve Anastas at Palmer Gym in Mamaroneck High School. Into Miles Hawden, turnaround jump shot, in and out. Rebounded by Bosco. So Berger will bring the ball up court. Official timeout. Curious to see what happened there. I'm not sure if he was scolding Caleb Crone or if it was an injury. No, it was an injury, and he was asking if he wanted to stay in the game or not.
Yeah, exactly. You don't see that often, but
no,
it's a good job by the official.
Right, exactly. Berger swinging the ball around. Decides to go back to Bosco. Bosco right back to Berger. Looks for the 3, doesn't get it. Deflected by Houghton. Good job there. Nash Goldman brings the ball back out to Berger. They keep swinging it around. Now under 10 on the shot clock. Crone drives baseline. Picks up the foul from Henry Bruce.
Not a good foul by Bruce. No, it was questionable. I mean, he tried to hold his ground, but it looks like he just missed it. But It was a tough call there. Scarsdale did a good job of working the ball. And you could see the little limp from Caleb Crone.
Yes.
That's interesting because, yeah, he's one of the best shooters. And, I mean, take him, if he has to come out, that won't be good. As Bosco, though, leading the way with 11, but he's got 7 as Crone. Their shooting percent is very high. I think they've only missed it 1 shot each.
So the Raiders now work it back up. They have a new shot clock to work with after the foul. Around to Bosco, back to Berger. Berger looking to get it inside.
Sorry, Steve, the foul came with 5 seconds on the shot clock, which is a tough
unfortunate
break.
For the Tigers.
And Henry
sure.
Bruce, who just came in the game.
Yeah.
Both
Gets
teams
it
now have
over
5
to
fouls.
Goldman, who drains the 3. Another 3-point shot for the Scarsdale Raiders. Extends their lead to 8, 22-14.
First 3 for Goldman. He's got 4 points. Thomas has it here, and he'll get fouled. That's good, as Mamaroneck definitely needs to get some points to answer here. 22-14.
This feels very similar to the way that Scarsdale built their lead at Scarsdale earlier this season. You'd think that Mamaroneck would be more prepared for the kind of offense that Scarsdale was going to bring. I'm noticing that Drake Weissman is not in uniform. And now I see him over there on the bench as Isaiah Thomas sinks the first free throw. So that's some more rebounding size that Scarsdale is missing, giving Dante Holmes some more time on the floor. But nonetheless, it is the shooting from over the top that is really getting the job done for the Raiders.
As mentioned before, they have 5 guys, 3 guys on the roster that are not suited up, as they only have 10 guys suited up. As today, Mamaroneck, everybody's suited up except Julian Houghton, as Sasha Nambiar is back there, on the bench and is
he's been out for a couple games. We'll see if he gets action today.
He had some minutes, the sophomore, off the bench this year.
Right.
In some key games.
Squadron gets the ball across court to Crone. Crone gets it back out to Berger, and they'll settle their offense there.
Scarsdale definitely slowing it down here in the second quarter. Up tempo in the first, but Coach Bill Murphy telling them to slow it down here. Gets the 3 in the fake. No good.
Three-pointer from Goldman does not fall. And now Miles Houghton pressing the action, looking for coast to coast. Leaves it for Genovese. Gets it out to Thomas. Three-pointer is good.
Great pass by Emerson Genovese to find Thomas in the corner in the left. He strokes the 3. He's got 5 points all in the last minute.
And back down to a 3-point lead for Scarsdale. Now full court pressure from Mamaroneck. And a 10-second violation. Scarsdale did not realize how much time was ticking off the clock.
Good call. It was actually an 11-second violation according to the shot clock. It went 35-24. But how quickly things have changed. It looked like Scarsdale was almost going to build like a double-digit lead.
It looked like they were pulling away with it in the first half.
Even though it's very early, yeah. And they had an 8, and now the 8's down to a 3. Similar to the Knicks game last night. The Knicks were losing big, and then they cut it and wound up only losing by 3 when they were down by 15-16 earlier.
Good-looking shot there from Will Tuck. I have to say, still just 24 hours after the offensive foul fest that occurred between Mamaroneck and Gordon, I was a little surprised to see that was not called a charge, and Will Tuck will be at the line.
Different referees today.
Yep, that is the difference.
And
Will Tuck drains the first free throw. Having Tuck and Mooney on the court did seem to be an advantage for Mamaroneck with that height shooting from the outside. Julian Puelo checks in for Mooney, so they maintain that height, but they're going to want Puelo down low, rebounding for all these shooters on the floor. Once again, full court pressure from Mamaroneck. It looks like Crone will get it across the timeline. And the ball goes out to Squadron, down to the corner to Bosco. Fouled on the 3-point shot. He will be at the line for 3. In a 1-point game, Charlie, that's really an unfortunate circumstance. Coach Carver is calling for a deflection, which would negate the foul, because if you touch the ball, you can make contact with the hand if it's after blocking the shot. Definitely looked like he got a piece of that ball, Charlie.
Miles Houghton, a rare mistake by him, but definitely could have went either way. like how the deflection in football negates the pass interference call.
Right.
That's what you were explaining there. And
well, more like to compare it again to football, Charlie, I would say if you knock the ball away on the defense, if the defender knocks the ball away as Bosco hits 3 free throws, if you knock the ball away as you're defending the receiver, you can manhandle the receiver so long as you touch the ball first.
Yeah.
Tuck drives baseline, gives it to Puelo. Puelo has a lucky roll. Just finds the English and back to the full court press. They get it out to Goldman. Goldman over to Bosco for another 3, and he drills it.
He's got 17 points in the first 12 minutes, less than 12 minutes into this one. 17, and that's 4-5 threes.
Bang, a beautiful shot right back at it from Will Tuck. Crone now brings it across. He goes all the way to the hoop, and they'll call the foul on Puelo, trying to impede the progress of Caleb Crone. Mamaroneck in the bonus, so Caleb Crone will be at the line for 1-1. Coach Bill Murphy for Scarsdale calling out the play for the Raiders in the follow-up of the free throws.
Bosco has 4 threes for his 17 points, 3 free throws and a 2. And Crone makes this one, as Steve mentioned earlier, good free throw shooting team. And Steve announced their game 2 weeks earlier at the Scarsdale Schools for the Scarsdale Schools television network, the technology advanced Scarsdale Schools television network. Technically advanced, where they have the live feed possible, where LMC hopefully will have that in a couple of years, maybe. Rob Moretti shrugs his shoulders.
Isaiah Thomas brings the ball across the timeline, gets it into Puelo, over to Miles Houghton, who pulls up for 3, just too long.
Miles only has 3 points, Steve.
Squadron puts it up and in, plus the foul. Tough turn of events for the Tigers, as Mamaroneck able to send it all the way back down the other way for the basket and the foul, and Squadron will be at the line for the conventional 3-point play. Mamaroneck now with 8 fouls, Scarsdale with 7, so both teams in the 1-1 for the final 4 minutes of the half.
The last 2 free throws were the 1-1s.
Thomas with a sloppy pass, Squadron lays it in, and just like that is 35-26, and Coach Tyrone Carver calls timeout to stop the bleeding. We'll be back in just a moment on LMC Varsity Sports. So Isaiah Thomas with the ball in the backcourt, he'll bring it across. Miles Houghton, Emerson Genovese, Will Tuck, and Julian Puelo join Thomas for these final 4 minutes. Tuck looks to pull it up. Puelo has the shot, gives it up. Thomas unable to convert. Miles Houghton for 3, no good. Emerson Genovese goes up, does not get the rebound from Crone. Crone gives it to Bosco. Bosco sends it across to Goldman. And now Scarsdale will settle up the offense.
Nearly threw it away, did Bosco. And Scarsdale going quickly, stripped.
3-pointer from Bosco is no good. The putback from Crone, no good. Rebounded by Tuck. Now Thomas pushing it into the front court for Mamaroneck and Miles Houghton. Oh, a lazy pass from Houghton. And Berger puts it in. Really not very heady play from the star for Mamaroneck.
Miles hasn't found a shot yet today either. See how long Mamaroneck can stay in this without him having a shot, and Tuck misses one here. He'll get it back though.
Will Tuck stepped on the sideline, tracking down that rebound. So Mamaroneck down by 11. Scarsdale with the ball, 2:41 to play in the first half.
Miles Houghton getting a rare breather. Don't see that often, coming out as the sweet shooting Trevor Mooney comes back in the game. He has 6 points.
Mooney and Greenberg in for Puelo and Houghton. We'll see if we can get some scoring out of Mooney here to try and cut into this lead.
You need to.
Scarsdale taking their sweet time here with two and a half left.
Which is smart when you have an 11-point lead here, but definitely they need to cut into this.
Three-pointer from Berger is in and out. Rebounded by Caleb Crone. He puts it back up and in. Not much height on the floor from either team. So Crone, essentially the big man on the floor. Trevor Mooney unable to put that ball in. And right back at it comes Scarsdale with a 13-point lead. Berger kicks it out. Shot from Squadron is waved off as it is an offensive foul on Matt Berger. The senior guard with the smart play, but nonetheless, he picks up his third foul, so he has to take a seat with 1:54 remaining.
As that is the third foul on Berger, first player to get 3 fouls in this one. It was offensive, so no 1-and-1. Corner 3, Mooney.
In and out again for Trevor Mooney.
They would have cut it to a 10-point deficit. Instead, Scarsdale brings it up 13 with 1:35 to go, and don't want to go in the halftime trailing by too many points.
Three-pointer from, Max Pasco hits the three and is fouled by Eric Greenberg.
And Max Pasco has 20 points now. 20 in the first half. Unbelievable. About to, if he makes the free throw, have 21 of Scarsdale's 43 and 1:24 to go. And that's a huge deficit Mamaroneck has dug right now. 42-26. Coach Carver will need him to give his best halftime speech of his career if he wants to get Mamaroneck back into this one.
So 1:20 remaining, down by 17. Mamaroneck comes back. Genovese has it on the right wing.
Maybe Coach Carver
penetrates, kicks it to Greenberg. Will Tuck now. Back to Thomas for 3, and he drains it. Beautiful shot from Thomas.
He has 8 off the bench for the sweet shooting sophomore guard, Isaiah Thomas. 43-29, 55 seconds remaining in this quarter. But Coach Carver will have to get his inner Norman Dale from Hoosiers speech to get his team going. That's a long three again, and Max Bosco has
Technical foul called on Bosco.
24 points for Bosco, but he gets the taunting technical on Bosco. So 24 points, but a technical, that's not good for Bosco. And what did they say before the game, Steve?
Yeah, a suspension would mean missing, or an ejection would mean a suspension and missing the playoff game.
Will Tuck want to take the technical free throws, and they'll take him out so he doesn't get anything more. 24 points, he'll take the 24 points, and if he has to get a technical, I mean, you're up 46-29, he's got 24 of them.
You know, Max Bosco obviously feeling it, he's in his zone, but he even had something to say as he walked off the court. Not really smart, he could pick up his second technical, get ejected for the second half, and miss that playoff game. Isaiah Thomas sinks the first free throw.
As the coaches have a step in front of him on the bench, too. That's not good. If I'm the coach, I'd tell him, go to the locker room now. Like, get off the bench. You know, you can do that.
Well, Coach Bill Murphy has something to say
That's the ref who teed him up.
to the ref who teed him up there.
And the coach, if a coach gets ejected, too, they're not allowed to coach a player.
Right, same rules apply.
Game. That goes for anything.
Thomas with the banker, puts it in. He's got 12, 11, and they're only down. Well, he sunk both free throws.
12.
And he had
12. You're right, 12.
So that makes it 12, and they're only down by 13.
As he took the technical free throws, Will Tuck wanted to at first, but so that technical was a 4-point
play
for Mamaroneck. Timeout, Coach Murphy. We'll step aside and be right back. 11.4 here on LMC Varsity Sports. Scarsdale can hold for the final shot of this quarter.
11.4 seconds remaining. Leo Katz comes into the game for the Raiders. Shot clock obviously is off. Sam Squadron has it. He gets it over to Goldman. Back over to Squadron. He shoots.
No.
Squadron is way off. Oh, but Josh Wasserman gets
terrible.
the rebound and the putback as the clock expires.
That's bad, Steve. That was after the clock expired.
No, that
was
got that
after
shot off
expired.
before the clock expired.
No way.
It was 48-33 at the half.
Tigers trail.
Hey, it looked like he got it off after, Steve.
We'll have
see
to
what
take a look
Steve
at the
says with
rebound.
video.
Nonetheless, that is the first half. Mamaroneck goes into the locker room down by 15 points. We'll be back on LMC Varsity Sports. Here we are with the start of the second half. A last-minute flurry by Scarsdale gave them a 15-point lead, 48-33, and they have possession here at the start of the second, Charlie.
And that's not a snow flurry, Steve.
No. Ha-ha. And Charlie McGraw, ladies and gentlemen, he'll be here all week.
Well, that's why we're able to play, because if there was any snow,
Yes,
I mean,
I
just
know.
because
There
of
was
flurries.
so many meanings to that joke, Charlie. Liam Ossenfort puts his hands on the driving Caleb Crone. No, correction, I'm sorry, that was Nash Goldman that was driving the lane, his sophomore guard. That's Ossenfort's third foul. They're leaving him in for now, though.
To give you an idea, this game is on Wednesday. This originally was supposed to be last Friday. Then it got postponed because there was snow.
To Monday.
To Monday, and then because they're all after school activities were canceled because of the late snow, which wasn't even that
The
bad.
midday snow, which they thought was going to be worse than it was.
And it was just a little. But
So Goldman gets the
better to be
personal
safe
foul
than
on
sorry.
the charging.
But it's set
Eric
up-
Greenberg steps in front. I'm sorry, Charlie.
it's set up for a nice senior day playing Scarsdale.
Exactly.
Although
As we
hopefully
were mentioning,
Mamaroneck
right.
can come back and make it closer here.
Well, that'll make it an even more exciting senior day.
Fourth foul called on Mr. Matt Berger.
Unfortunate for the point guard to get his fourth. So in comes Josh Wasserman, the junior guard, to replace Berger. Hawden inbounds it to Will Tuck for three. Off the front of the rim. Rebounded by Ossenfort. Gets it out to Miles Hawden for three. Long. Ossenfort again, and this time he is fouled.
Great job by Liam Ossenfort. We talked about this, how they needed to do a better job on the boards, and Ossenfort is sticking with him with the three fouls is Coach Carver, and he got the foul, and that's three quick fouls. 7 minutes, 18 seconds left in the third. You already have three fouls. 42 seconds in, you have three fouls, and that's number three for Nash Goldman, and he
Charlie,
comes out.
I was about to point out that Liam Ossenfort has basically a 4 or 5 inch height advantage on any of the players. So in comes Dontavius Holmes.
And he does not have that advantage on
Any
Holmes.
longer, no.
And Miles Hawden just real ice cold from the field, unfortunately. He's I think 1 of 8 now.
Well, and as any basketball mind knows, Charlie, when you're struggling from the field, the best thing to do is to get the ball to the hoop. And here Miles Hawden has that opportunity on a fast break, but he is fouled out near midcourt. The fourth team foul for Scarsdale. So Mamaroneck inching closer and closer to the ever important bonus situation.
Wasserman, who just beat the buzzer, was very close. Looked like he might not have, but they counted it, and very close one, but he gets the foul, his second. But that was a smart foul, as that stopped him. In the NBA, that's that new player control foul, a clear path foul, because it was almost a clear path. You could have had the too easy, and Tuck takes a hit, but no call on that one. We'd like to have seen that be their fifth foul, and he would have shot three, but instead Scarsdale gets the ball off the rebound. No one scored in this first minute and a half of the high-scoring first half, 48-33.
Josh Wasserman with the ball out up top, gets it to Caleb Crone. Crone looking for a teammate to pass it to. He now puts the ball on the floor. He is trapped by Genovese and Houghton. Now Sam Squadron drives on Houghton. He spins around. No good on the shot. Oh, and Miles Houghton tries to get it to Genovese. Pulls up a little bit. Genovese able to get it. Now a three from Genovese is off the mark. Ossenfort does not have positioning, and Scarsdale's Caleb Crone comes away with the ball.
I'd like to see Isaiah Thomas get some more minutes, as he has 12 points and play really well. Let's see when they put him in this second half. Hasn't played yet. I know it went with the starters, but definitely got to play the hot hand.
Bosco, the hot shooter of the game with 24 points. He looks to penetrate, gives it up to Squadron, who gets it over for three. Missed by Josh Wasserman, and Scarsdale's Dante Holmes commits the loose ball foul. That's 5 team fouls on Scarsdale.
They gave it to Sam Squadron, Steve.
Oh, they gave it to Squadron, okay.
His first, I think. Yeah, his first.
Yep.
Team's fifth, though. If this was girls basketball, they'd already be shooting two, because they do that per quarter. But in boys,
they have that new rule.
If they get two more on everything but an offensive, it'll be 1-1 for the rest of the half, which would be huge for Mamaroneck, the way Scarsdale's fouling.
Eric Greenberg gets it over to Miles Houghton. Back over to Greenberg to Tuck in the corner. He drives baseline. Lefty shot goes up, and he is fouled. So, Will Tuck penetrates the lane and gets it off the left hand. No good, but he will be at the line for two, and that is now the sixth team foul for Scarsdale with 5:10 remaining in the third period. Down still by 15.
And that's Dante Holmes' first foul, team sixth. 8 points for Will Tuck, looking to add to that here. And this would be the first points of the second half for either team. 2 minutes and 50 seconds into this second half, as Tuck makes it.
Tuck hits the first. Scarsdale calls a timeout. We'll be back in just a moment on LMC Varsity Sports. Will Tuck at the line for the second free throw. He sinks it, and it's down to a 13-point lead for Scarsdale, approaching 5 minutes remaining in the third period. Tuck on Bosco. Oh, nice dish to Squadron. Miles Houghton is just not on his game. Trailing Squadron on that play. Didn't have a chance on defense. Three-pointer is good from, wasn't sure if that was Houghton or Genovese. Now it's Bosco with the ball, Tuck on him. 12-point game with 4.5 remaining. Holmes gets it in to Wasserman. Wasserman is fouled, so he will go to the line. Will Tuck commits, I believe, his second. And Wasserman will be at the line for two.
Good thing we have community sports producer Rob Moretti on the camera next to us, as he told us that was Miles. So as soon as Steve says he's slumping, he hits the three.
Well, that's really what he needed, but what he needs even more is to get to the basket and get some easy shots. Shooting from the outside, it's hard to get into a rhythm doing that. And now the referee has some words for the cheerleaders who were making, I guess, some excessive noise with some device.
That's coming from the stands.
I believe it's coming from the stands.
What's he going to do, tee up the cheerleaders? As now the official's moving the cheerleaders. So he teed up Bosco, and now he moves the cheerleaders.
So that I thought he ejected that one cheerleader, but the whole cheerleading squad has to move from their traditional spot under the basket. I've never seen that before, where, wow, this is a bit of a controlling move by the official.
Same official who teed up Bosco, and definitely not making many friends out here.
I think I just heard a cheerleader mention that some profanity was used. I suppose that's not really permissive, but
it
to move
might have came from the stands, not from the cheerleaders.
Interestingly, they're now down at the other end, so it's the exact three-point shot from Trevor Mooney. Cuts it to a 10-point game. Mamaroneck back in it. So it's occurred to me now that he's moved them down to the other side so that they can't distract Scarsdale while shooting. 5-second violation called on Scarsdale, gives the ball back to the Tigers. Interesting turn of events here in the past few minutes of action at Palmer Gym.
And we still got a basketball game going on here.
Mamaroneck inbounds the ball. Isaiah Thomas gets it over to Miles Houghton into Genovese. Genovese has it knocked away, and now Caleb Crone rushes into the front court, gives it to Bosco. Bosco lays it in, and the foul.
first points of the second half for Bosco. He's got 26 to go along with that pretty pass he had earlier in the half, and looking to make it 27 at the line.
He is definitely strutting right now, Charlie. You can tell it in his mannerisms and his facial expressions. He is still in the zone.
Isaiah Thomas with his second foul. As they got the duck call going in the student section. Can't distract him. He's got 27.
I noticed Max Bosco in the second half warm-ups shooting from the outside, and he did not miss. So you know he's still feeling it. Miles Houghton has got to get something going. Trevor Mooney over to Isaiah Thomas. Thomas over to Tuck. Tuck back over to Mooney. And now Houghton stops the ball. Trevor Mooney short on the three-pointer. Rebounded by Crone over to Squadron. Back to Crone. Dante Holmes lays it up and in. And just like that, it's back to 15. Timeout on the court. We'll be back in just a moment on LMC Varsity Sports. Emerson Genovese inbounds to Isaiah Thomas, who brings it across the timeline. After that timeout, he penetrates the lane, traveling by Thomas. He did not get rid of that ball to Mooney in time, or rather to Miles Houghton. So turnover out of a timeout has got to drive a head coach absolutely insane. Crone gets it over to Bosco, and an offensive foul on Dante Holmes. Moving pick gives the ball right back.
So we're in the bonus now, but that was
to
offensive.
Mamaroneck, but an offensive foul. They are in the bonus, but they will not be shooting 1-and-1 as Christian Pinzone checks in for Emerson Genovese.
First time Pinzone enters today.
Sophomore gets it into Pinzone. His shot is good, immediately making an impact and cutting it to a 13-point lead. Squadron brings it across the timeline. He's mirrored by Houghton. Cuts through the lane. Foul on Christian Pinzone. His first, obviously, as he just checked into the game. Gives the ball out. Ball to Scarsdale on the side. Squadron gets it all the way back into their own backcourt to Caleb Crone, and Miles Houghton is on him. Bosco with the ball, Will Tuck guarding him. Squadron tries the backdoor, doesn't get it. Now he has a baseline. Back over to Bosco. Bosco looking for his own shot. Foul again on Pinzone.
A couple quick fouls on Pinzone. He scores a quick basket, but then gets two fouls.
He's come in for Genovese and is guarding Sam Squadron. Now they've switched him up and put him on Holmes, and Trevor Mooney will be guarding Squadron. No, they've moved it to a zone defense. Crone has it up top. Over to Goldman and back to Crone. Now Bosco to Goldman. Taking their time, under 2 minutes left. Squadron fakes, now goes to the lane. Leaves it to Caleb Crone, who lays it in. And just like that, it's back to 15.
13 points now with Crone. Him and Max Bosco combined for 40 as Bosco has 27.
Long three-pointer off the front of the rim, backboard, no good. Miles Houghton is just launching from deep, not looking to penetrate at all. Oh, and once again, Miles Houghton beaten on the back door. This time from Squadron to Caleb Crone, and it's a 17-point game again.
Not good for Mamaroneck. Three in the corner by Tuck. No good off. Here comes Houghton.
Trevor Mooney with the rebound. He is fouled, and Mamaroneck
knocked out.
No, was knocked out of bounds
by Scarsdale's.
So Miles Houghton will inbound the ball. Ball goes to Trevor Mooney, out to Will Tuck. gives it to Houghton, who pulls up for three, does not sink it, but he's fouled on the three-point shot. So we'll see if Houghton can't get right at the free throw line. He has 3 free throws to try and cut this to a 14-point game with 57.7 remaining in the third quarter.
Just Caleb Crone's second foul, so someone you'd like to get in foul trouble just a second. And that one's good from Houghton.
Houghton sinks his first.
Just has 7 points, I think, through 3 quarters. Has to be close to his low on the year. 57.7 here in the third.
He still has an entire quarter of scoring to go. Sinks the second one for his 8th point, and now a 15-point game, 60-45. Will Tuck steps out, and Julian Puelo comes in.
Both teams are good free throw shooting teams, Steve.
Houghton sinks both, and now Tommy Martin comes in for Miles Houghton.
Houghton, you rarely see him come out, but it's good that he's been missing
Houghton
a lot.
A little surprised to be coming out of the game, but considering his lackluster defensive effort, I'm not surprised Carver made the substitution.
Probably just for the final minute here, 48.
Well, you can see right there that Tommy Martin is chasing the cutter down the lane faster than Houghton was.
Well, you got fresh legs in there, too.
Right. Squadron with a nice crossover, gets it over to Goldman. No good. He gets his own rebound on the three-pointer. Timeout called by Coach Murphy. And we will be back in just a moment here on LMC Varsity Sports. Scarsdale up 60-46, 31.6 remaining in the third. Matt Berger back in the game with 4 fouls for the final 30 seconds. And Sam Squadron gets it over to Berger. Berger looking for Bosco. And now the pick by Goldman, ineffective.
With the Raiders on offense, Coach Murphy puts him in for that. It's not like he has a Gordon problem yesterday with all the charges, so it's not a problem like that.
Bosco gonna look to shoot. No, goes to Crone. Crone lays it up off glass, no good. 2 seconds left. Tommy Martin with the ball at half court. Cannot get the shot off. So it remains 60-46 at the end of the third quarter. We'll be back in just a moment on LMC Varsity Sports.
Back here on LMC Varsity Sports alongside Steven Nastis. I'm Charlie McGraw alongside cameraman and LMC Varsity Sports producer Ron Moretti. As that three is good by Trevor Mooney. That'll cut it to a 12-point deficit. Mooney has 4 threes.
11.
It was a 2.
It's an 11-point game.
Excuse me, 60-49. Thank you, Steve. As Scarsdale has it here.
Bosco really not looking for a shot here in the second half.
With the big lead, they don't want to waste. They want to waste time, not rush shots. And that one off of.
Now, I've always been interested by this call, Charlie. He called it Mamaroneck ball, but that was most definitely off of Mamaroneck's hands. He was fouled. That should have been a loose ball foul. He should be at the line shooting 1-1.
Yeah, because even though it's off on offense, they were just on offense, it would be a loose ball. That three by Houghton in and out. Steve, what do you think of Houghton? That almost went in, though.
I mean, they're living by the three, dying by the three, so I'm not surprised they're still shooting threes, but I'd still like to see Miles Houghton driving to the lane.
That would have made it an 8-point game. That looked like a travel. Got away with it. Did the big fella Holmes, and to clean up the garbage was
Max Bosco.
Of course, the chocolate sauce man, and he's got 29 points. Houghton looking to shoot it, but he's only made 2 threes. He's got
he has
3
2
free
threes
throws
in the game,
and 3 free throws when he was shooting a 3. And he hasn't.
Here we go.
He's only attempted a 3. As that should have been a foul. Picked up. They reset it, even though they shouldn't have. Right in the hands of Houghton. He goes up, and Miles got it out dunking, and a foul's called on the floor, so it'll be 1-1.
If you want a clear illustration of whether a player is on his game or not, give him the ball with no one in front of him and see if he makes the layup. If he can't make that layup, it's just an off game. It happens, all right? It happens to every player. I'm sure he's as frustrated with himself as Coach Carver is with him.
1-1 for
Trevor Mooney hopefully can cut it to an 11-point game once again.
That's good. Nothing but the bottom of the net. He's got 13 to lead all Mamaroneck scores as Thomas has 12 and Tuck has 10. So Miles Houghton. No basket, violation against Mamaroneck. Genovese, he went in too early, so that doesn't count as a missed free throw, it just counts as a violation, so it's 62-50 with 6:05 remaining. But as I was saying, Houghton is the 4th leading scorer for Mamaroneck. That's tough to win when Houghton is it'll be tough to win. He's got to increase that point total, and we have a foul.
All right, so an interesting development here. Julian Puelo, Max Bosco was trying to get the call on Puelo on the right wing. Puelo called him for flopping. A little trash talk directly to Bosco saying, "What are you, flopping?" And then he goes and drives, tries to generate some contact and flops again, and he gets the call, and Puelo is furious.
The official told him to calm down or he was going to tee him up. Same official who teed up Bosco, and a wide open layup as he made Genovese look foolish to the big fella Holmes. Holmes has 4 points, 3 fouls, all off the bench, getting playing time because of some foul trouble and some weak short bench. Their depth is not that high. A way outside shot by Puelo, not in his range. He misses the long two. 64-50. Coach Carver tells him to play man-to-man half court here, and that's what they'll do. They need to stop. A nice interception by Thomas, and he throws it away because he had to save it. Looked like maybe he could have got pushed out of bounds. That would have been 2 fouls, 9 fouls on Scarsdale, 6 on Mamaroneck. Next foul is a bonus for Scarsdale, 1-1, and a 2-shot
and an offensive foul on Holmes, pushing Puelo through the zone, trying to get position for the inbound pass.
So he joins Matt Berger with 4 fouls. Crone and Bosco just have 2. So 4 fouls for Crone, 3 for Wasserman. 4 fouls for Berger, 4 for Holmes, 2 for Bosco, 2 for Crone, and 3 for Wasserman for Scarsdale. As Thomas will bring it up, he kicks to Houghton. Since it was offensive, it brings them in the double bonus, but non-shooting. In the corner, wide open 3 is good! Mr. Will Tuck, he has 13, and he ties Mooney for 13 points, and it's a 11-point game, 64-53, 4:55. Need another stop here and get another basket. Not necessarily need a 3 if you get the stop.
Foul on the floor there, Charlie, so not in the bonus yet. Actually, that might put them in the bonus.
It will, that'll be set.
So he'll be at the line shooting 1-1
for Crone, who has 15.
So Miles Houghton not looking for his shot any longer. However, he is trying to create for his teammates as Crone hits the first of the 1-1.
Yeah, 16.
The front end.
16 points now. And that was the first foul on Genovese, who after having 10 yesterday has no points today for the co-captain. And it's a 13-point lead, 66-53. As they push it forward, Thomas to Houghton in the corner, wide open 3, and that's good! That'll be 3 for Miles Houghton. He now has 12.
And it's down to 10.
His third 3 of the game, and the wide open 3, that was a good call. Nice pass by Thomas. 66-56, and does Mamaroneck need to stop, or does Mamaroneck need to stop?
The crowd is finally into it, calling for defense. I'm not sure why that chant stopped. Because that's exactly what they need here is a defensive stop.
As Tuck nearly got the steal as he deflected it. The 3 for Bosco! And he lays it, and it's 32 points for Max Bosco. And that could be the single best performance by a player. I think he's missed 1 shot, Steve, as we talked about at halftime. Isaiah Thomas answers with a layup of his own to get 14 points for him. First bucket of the second half for Thomas. Timeout, Coach Carver. 69-58. Exactly 4 minutes remaining. We'll be right back to finish this Final Four here at Mamaroneck High School. Back here on LMC Varsity Sports. I'm Sean McGraw alongside Stephen Astis. Scarsdale looking for the home run pass, following the timeout by Mamaroneck. Full court pressure though, and they'll get it up. So they did stop him for a 10-second violation, which you rarely see. the first half, and Houghton with the tough defense, they'll let him play. 20 seconds on the shot, 3:45 on the game.
I'd love to know what Coach Carver had to say to his team about how to defend Bosco and this Scarsdale offense.
And he loses it and he gets hurt.
Sprained his ankle.
And he'll let it go to Tuck, and no foul called. The Squadron has a bum ankle, and they'll call time for him as he came up limping, and he'll grab it. And how do you not score on that, Steve?
Miles Houghton's not looking for a shot. As I said, he gave that ball up to a covered man.
To Tuck, and Tuck had it, and they didn't call the foul there. But he just hurt his ankle and just basically
gift wrapped the ball to Thomas, but he'll stay in the game.
Interesting that they stop the clock for the player, yet they're not making him come out of the game.
When Scarsdale had the ball, and they should, and they will. And
So
Berger will come in
now.
with his 4 fouls.
Squadron's coming out.
Which you should have to do. Steve.
Right.
As he'll
I
go
think that Coach Carver insisted that that happened there. Now bringing Berger in is an interesting problem unto itself, because that kid can stroke it from 3 as well.
They've only played 8 players, as they haven't used Will Hoffman or Zach Lama, Zach Lama, and that one gets a wide open layup, and it's good for the big guy, Holmes. He's got 6 on 2 wide open layups. They've only used 8 players, and Katz they only used for about 15 seconds, and that's a foul. He'll shoot 2, Will Houghton, 71-58, and most importantly, time does not go off the clock.
Right. In the double bonus now, as you mentioned, so Houghton will be able to take some points off the scoreboard.
Peter Matt getting coming into the game. I think Coach likes his defense.
I think they need someone on Holmes. Rattles that one around, Charlie.
That's a thank you present for all his hard work.
Right.
As the senior gets the rattle.
Exactly, on
13.
senior day.
As Matt comes in for the bigger Mooney, but Matt's physical, and they need him on Holmes. And he's quick, and he's the star football player.
Well, they have 3-point shooting with Tuck, Thomas, and Houghton.
Houghton gets that lead now he's got 14 points as the rolled ankle does not affect Squadron as he only sits out less than a minute. As 14 for him and Thomas here.
Coach Murphy is calling for a foul on Peter Matt, who grabbed a little bit of Berger on the breakaway opportunity.
So 2:55 remaining, 20 seconds. Coach Murphy yelling at the official. Interesting to see if he'll tee him up as he teed up before, but nothing yet. Official just said something back to him. Good defense for now. Matt's energy helping him so far. And that one at the buzzer. Oh, that's a dagger.
Dagger by Caleb Crone, the star. He's got 18 now to go along with 32 from Bosco.
And that was just, you played great defense, let all that time go off the shot clock, and then he makes a 2 at the buzzer.
Foul. Do they give him continuation? No, he shakes his head.
Oh man, that looked like that could have been continuation and count the basket for Tuck, but instead it's a foul.
Well, that
against
most definitely would have been continuation in the NBA. I'm pretty sure it would have been in college as well.
And it should have been probably.
And it probably should have been here.
Squadron second. Tuck will shoot 2 because it's a 1-and-1.
And he now has 14 points. So 3 guys with 14 points. Tuck, Houghton, and
Thomas?
yes, Thomas.
And Mooney's got 13, basically all they're scoring. As that one is good, 73-62.
11-point game, 2:18 left, Charlie. They've got to come up with some stops.
Tuck with 15 now.
They cannot keep trading baskets. James Mineta in the game, and he's called for a foul on Caleb Crone, as Crone ball faked twice. Mineta can't believe the call, but he did put his hand in Crone's chest. So Crone will be at the line for 2 as they're in the double bonus as well. No, I'm sorry. Only 8 fouls. He misses, and Genovese gets the rebound.
So first foul on Mineta as he gets some late playing time for the first time. He'll give it to Tuck. He'll shoot a long 3, and it's way off.
It looked on target from this vantage point, but obviously it was wide left.
That tells you
that
about
out of bounds, and that could do it. It's an 11-point game, under 2 minutes remaining, and Tuck comes out for Julian Puelo.
So you got Hawden, Genovese, Puelo, and Tuck. And that one goes right to Hawden, and he will just lay it in. He didn't even dunk it. That shows you where he's
Well, he
at.
didn't really have the vertical there.
Miss it.
That he
And
didn't
makes
want
it
to
a
miss it.
9-point game, most importantly, on an easy turnover. And I'm surprised he didn't use a timeout, as we saw a similar situation. Murphy, here, I mean, don't foul now, but you got to get...
I thought very smart
Stop.
play from Hawden not to try and dunk it there.
Yeah, because he might, who knows, the ball would have rattled out the way his night's going.
More important to get the points there than get the flash.
See a 16 now. Tuck has 15. Thomas 14. Mooney 13. And no basket. Foul before the play with 7 seconds, and Coach Carver didn't like that. I think just the ninth now. Yeah, the ninth foul.
Yes.
Second on Mineta. So that's key, because the ninth, it just means 1 and 1, as opposed to when they have the 10th, it'll be 2 shots. And that's why coming in now will be Martin. He'll replace Hawden. Wow.
I thought Bosco might have taken an extra step there.
32 points for Bosco at the line.
So Hawden comes out with 1:22 remaining.
In and out and back in. 33 for Bosco. 74-64. 122, and a young lineup out there besides the freshmen. Besides the 2 seniors, Genevieve and Puelo. And Matt, with guys who haven't been playing much. And this one, Puelo, Matt, and we got the sophomore Mineta, who has the ball here. Coach just saw his guys just very tired. And Martin, so we saw him do that yesterday, passes and nobody was looking. Genovese said he didn't know if he wanted to bank it or swish it or what, and he hit it between, and it was a miss. And Bosco will give it to Crone, and Crone will bring it up, and Coach Murphy will call a timeout. So it'll be timeout here, and we'll step aside and be right back on LMC Varsity Sports. So a good gesture by Coach Murphy just to call the timeout to get his subs in. So it'll be Leo Katz, Berger, Hoffman, and Zach Lama. So Berger exits with 34 points.
It occurred to me also to get Peter Matt into the game on senior day. He hadn't played yet.
Well, Peter Matt's been in. Remember he was in for 2 minutes? They put him in for a sub?
Earlier.
Yeah, earlier in the quarter.
Right.
Right.
But that's why he came into the game when he did, I think.
Well, also, the game wasn't over, though. He needed
No,
new
but he
players.
wasn't getting any time until that point.
Excuse me, he leaves Bosco in, so to add to his 34, because only scored 34 points once, might as well add to total, and he does 35 now for Bosco, because that was Mineta's 3rd foul already. So for Mamaroneck, you have the senior Puelo, 30.
So now he takes Bosco out after 36 points.
36 for Bosco, great game. He had that technical, though. Martin throws it in, but a great game for him as he single-handedly 36 points. Almost scored half of Scarsdale 77. And intercepted by the Raiders, and they could just let the clock go as Mineta, Matt, Pinsone, Martin, and Puelo. Puelo, the senior, on the floor. Martin, freshman. Mineta, Scarsdale just running out the clock. And Mamaroneck fell behind early, Steve, and it cost them.
Yeah, that early deficit, they were never really able to overcome it. And that ended up as their undoing. That and Max Bosco being lights out from the floor, missing, I think, maybe only 1 shot all game.
As final score is 77-64. We'll be right back to wrap it up as here from Palmer Gym on LMC Varsity Sports.
So we're here after a tough loss against Scarsdale with Coach Carver. Coach, your team gave a great effort in many different ways. Max Bosco was just on fire. And my question to you is, in a situation like that where you have your defensive system, how exactly you deal with one player in particular without breaking down your defensive strategy?
Got to locate him. You got to locate him, and we did a terrible job in the first half of locating him. And again, he's a great shooter, and we knew that, but we lost track of the defensive game plan.
When your star player, Miles Houghton, who's had such a fantastic season, just can't find his shot, how exactly do you adjust there?
Well, you know what? He's a great player. You know what? He has to find a way to be able to score in various ways. And then other guys got to be able to step up as well. I thought we had some key guys that stepped up. It just wasn't enough defensively today. Offensively, we scored enough points. 64 points, I believe, is what we scored. That's enough points. We just got to be able to stop people, and 77 is way too much.
Right. Well, we haven't gotten a result from Ramapo yet, but good luck in the playoffs, wherever you end up seated, and we'll look forward to watching your team perform.
Thank you. Thank you so much, LMC-TV, for covering us this year. It's always been a pleasure, and hope to see you soon.
Back here on the post-game show following a 77-64 loss for Mamaroneck against their rival Scarsdale on Senior Day. Steve, tough loss.
You know, they had scoring from several different areas. They just couldn't get any consistency going, and just as they would get back into it, we talked about during the broadcast how they let baskets up right off the bat, and that got them into a hole, and they just weren't able to recover. Every time they would get close, Scarsdale would come back with a three, or a basket and the foul for a conventional three-point play, or fouling a three-point shooter. Various breakdowns throughout the game really allowed Scarsdale to maintain that lead and hold it through the end.
And it was tough for them to cover Max Bosco. And also, Mamaroneck had 4 players in double figures, and Houghton still led them even though he had 16, but he missed a lot of shots and was off. And that when he's off, that's tough for them. And just like in their first game against Scarsdale, it was very similar, Steve, correct?
Yeah, well, the rebounding is the one difference, I would say. Scarsdale, whether they out-rebounded them statistically, the feeling in the first game was that they were out-rebounding Mamaroneck. Here, it wasn't so much the out-rebounding. They did get plenty of offensive rebounds, which is always deadly for a team trying to come back when you give up extra possessions to an offense. But I think the difference today was Max Bosco.
For sure, he had 36 and he was outstanding. A lot of people to thank for today's telecast, including the executive director, the CEO, Eric Lewis, the COO, Matt Sullivan. Community sports producer is Mr. Rob Moretti. For our cameramen who did a great job, Emma Dopsch, Rob Moretti, and Ray Marcelik. Once again, for Steve Anastas, this is Charlie McGraw saying thanks so much for watching and have a great evening.